So I feel like this is also me procrastinating from writing my paper that's due at midnight tonight. But I was thinking about, this is what I'm writing about. I'm writing about the Gun Violence Prevention Community Safety Act of 2020. One of the pieces of it is that they want to change the age limit that you can purchase a gun from 18 to 22. Now I'm trying to develop this argument, or like think of both sides of, you know, the argument or whatever stance you take on it. But for a second I was like, well, why, you know, it's a good idea. It's a good idea to change the age. But then when you turn 18, like, you're legally an adult, right? You're independent. So should you be allowed to? And then what about for hunting purposes? And then I remembered, and hopefully I'll do some research or someone will correct me if I'm wrong, that you can get a hunting license and you can go and hunt anyways, even when you're younger than 18. So I'm thinking, oh, you have to get a hunting license either way. So is that also like a carry, you know, you're permitted to carry during that hunting time as long as you get a hunting license? Is that the rule? And if so, then it doesn't matter about the age limit changing from 18 to 21 to be able to purchase a gun. And I think it is a good idea to have the age limit be 21 because, you know, from my understanding, the frontal lobe doesn't fully develop until you're 22 years old. So what's the purpose of you needing to buy a gun before that? Except for, like, I'm trying to bring up like hunting purposes, and I think that we need to make sure that we're including that thought when we're creating laws like this. So yeah, I think we should have a background check, definitely to get a gun. Yes, background check and a mental health check. And the background check, I feel like, I guess there's got to be some limitations, but also we need to fix our justice system, and so that's another story. But a mental check, most definitely. And also, yeah, live training. Now, one of the arguments that the NRA was saying was, oh, if the requirement is live training, or like showing a live training test, if that's a requirement, how is that possible to do if you're not allowing people to buy the firearms until the live training test is done? And to me, it seems like common sense. Like, well, obviously there's going to be testing facilities that you go to, and then they rent you out a gun and ammo so you can take the test. So then you can get your license, and then you can go buy your gun. And that seems like common sense to me. That also feels like that's just it, right? And I haven't read the bill to it in its entirety. Like, I'm not going to take the time to do all that. But like, that seems like the logical approach, especially if you're trying to pass a bill that is requiring live training, which I think is a good idea, as long as you're setting it up properly and you're not actually limiting people from doing the training because they don't have a gun. I just think that is a poor argument on that side. And I don't know if it was the NRA or the Firearms Coalition, FAC. Yeah, so I think it is a good idea. Mental health check, live training, background check, age limit. Those are the important things. I know it goes in, like, the bill goes into further details about limiting semi-automatic weapons. Also, kind of, it seems like taking more control of, like, the gun trade. Maybe people aren't too happy about that because then you can't purchase guns as easily. Yeah, so one of the major things I hope that people can try to, like, get in there is to pay attention to, like, hunters and what they need. And especially when you're taxing ammo really crazily, or you're saying that you can only buy a certain amount of ammo, is it a month or a week or something like that? But then what about people that hunt? They use a good amount. What if they're really bad at hunting? They're gonna use a lot of ammo. So yeah, I think people need to look more at the bigger picture, and, you know, sometimes, like, everyone gets very narrow. And then also, science is real, so frontal lobe doesn't fully develop until 22. And, you know, you don't need to be buying a gun at 18. There's no reason to. But if necessary, there's a process. Also, if you're a security guard and you go and get your guard card and all do all that stuff, I think you can do security after 18. So there you go. Another loop around it. And you're needing it for important reasons. Otherwise, there's really, you know, yeah. Like, we have Second Amendment rights, yes, but also we don't need to instill fear and don't need to cause fear. You know, people walking around with guns, like huge fake semi-automatic guns, to make people feel comfortable with seeing guns all the time because they, you know, they have a legal, they can you can carry guns in their state. But you're also making people scared. And especially with all these shootings happening at venues and events, why are you going to almost reenact that to make people feel safe with seeing guns? Like, what is the reason for you can carry a handgun? That is your own personal safety. I don't understand why you need to have a machine gun. What? You'll need that machine gun if something happens. There's apocalyptic measures. I don't know. Then you can go pull out the machine gun. But why do you need to walk down the street with a machine gun? Your handgun is gonna be, you know, there you go. Handgun. Yeah. Those are my thoughts. Make me think differently. Tell me more information. I always love to hear it.